Yo, welcome to Manga Comic TV. Today we're going to be running a gauntlet to see who is the best Robin. And stepping into the gauntlet, we have Jason Todd, as well as Tim Drake, as well as Dick Grayson, as well as Damian Wayne. Now I know there's also Stephanie Brown, but considering the fact that her tenure as Robin hasn't been as long, we aren't going to include her in this list. Now, what makes a good Robin? Well, considering the fact that Robin is Batman's protege, we would have to look at what Robin is most like Batman as far as fighting prowess, mental prowess, and durability goes. Now, first up, let's look at Jason Todd, because Jason Todd is often considered one of the physically strongest Robins, but the strongest doesn't necessarily mean the best. Now, Jason Todd has pushed his body to peak pinnacle human levels, often exceeding Olympic level athletes. Jason Todd has often been able to overpower his opponents utilizing his bulk and superior strength. Now, when it comes to combat skills, Jason Todd is considered to be a master martial artist as well as a master swordsman. He's been capable of holding his own against Batman and Nightwing, often resulting in victories or draws, but of course, it's not like these guys were really trying to hurt each other. When it comes to weapons, unlike Batman, he's been frequently known to use high caliber firearms as well as combat knives. When it comes to technique, he's considered to be a trained tactician, though sometimes he lacks long-term planning of other Bat family members. That lack of long-term planning is a critical flaw, as it often results in him being one step ahead instead of several, like other members of the Bat family. And when all things are considered, I don't think Jason Todd is the best Robin, and I think at least 2 out of 3 of the other Robins on this list would pack Jason Todd up. Next up, we have Tim Drake Robin. Now, Tim Drake is primarily known as Robin and Red Robin. He has no superhuman powers, but he ranks as one of the most capable fighters in the DC universe, and he's considered to be a peak human. His core strength lies in his brilliant detective skills as well as his elite martial arts training from Batman and Lady Shiva. When it comes to combat prowess, Tim Drake is considered to be highly skilled and advanced in hand-to-hand combat, but he frequently employs strategy and intellect over brute strength. When it comes to intelligence and mental prowess, he's considered to be one of the best detectives in the Bat family, often cited as potentially surpassing Batman in pure deductive reasoning. When it comes to durability, although he's a peak human and he's physically strong, he's not necessarily as durable as some members of the Bat family. Where Tim Drake's weakness lies is sometimes Tim Drake has been known to fight with emotions and lash out at his opponents, leaving openings for his opponents to exploit. Now, although Tim Drake is a great Robin, I don't necessarily think he's the best Robin, and I think all the other Robins could pack him up if it ever came down to a physical altercation. Next up on the list, we have Damian Wayne. Now, one thing that's worth noting is a lot of people consider Damian Wayne to be the overall best, if not strongest and most capable Robin in the DCU. Most of that is a result of Damian's intense training as son of Batman and Talia Ghul, making him far beyond a peak human. For the longest time, Damian Wayne was training to be the leader of the League of Shadows, as shown in Damian's Year of Blood. His physical conditioning and endurance are considered to be at the absolute peak of human potential, if not slightly beyond, thanks to his time at the League of Assassins. As far as combat prowess goes, Damian is considered to be a martial arts master and a master of close quarters combat, stealth, and weapon combat. Damian has been shown to easily be able to overpower foes larger than him, even being able to throw them with Deathstroke, and as we know, Deathstroke has even given Batman problems. Even during Damien's Year of Blood, when he was trying to atone for all the crimes he committed, when he returned the head of the Colossus and the Colossus came back to life, Damien managed to hold his own against the Colossus while the Colossus was destroying everything in his path and reality warping. In essence, Damien is an absolute assassin that's literally been bred to be the master of the League of Assassins. But having said that, Damien lacks a lot of the mental and detective feats that a lot of the other Robins have. And although Damien would be an absolute menace to fight, I feel as though there's still one Robin on this list that outclasses him on a mental and physical level that makes him the best Robin, and that would be Dick Grayson. Now, listen, I know there's going to be some people that disagree with that, but Dick Grayson is considered to be incredibly peak and has Nightwing. He's even comparable to Captain America. Now, Dick Grayson is easily considered to be the best acrobat as he was a child acrobat of the Flying Graysons. His body is at the height of human potential as a result of rigorous training with Batman, classifying him as a premier human athlete. As far as combat prowess goes, Dick Grayson is considered to be a martial arts master, often mixing his combat prowess with his agility and his tactical skill, allowing him to damage metahumans and overpower individuals much stronger than him. As a Robin and as a protege of Batman, he's the only one we know for sure to have surpassed Batman as confirmed by Batman himself. One thing that's worth noting is Dick Grayson is probably the most like Batman, as Dick Grayson was even willing to pack up all his friends in the entire Teen Titans to get closer to his enemy Deathstroke. This was shown in Teen Titans when Dick Grayson came up with the Red X persona and one by one systematically took down his friends in order to get closer to Slade. Now that is truly something only Batman would do, as Batman has been shown to have contingency plans capable of bringing down each one of his friends. Even as a youngster, there were several times where he was able to 1v1 Deathstroke and come out on top. And don't get me wrong, there's also been several times where he got his ass whooped and was packed up by Deathstroke. But the fact still remains that no other Robin has really been able to 1v1 Deathstroke and come out on top. Oftentimes, when Tim Drake or Damian have gone up against Deathstroke, they weren't necessarily able to beat him, they were simply able to hold him off for a while. And as far as Tim Drake goes, oftentimes he had help with the Teen Titans and he still couldn't pack Deathstroke up solo. Furthermore, Dick Grayson becomes Nightwing, and not only is Nightwing just better on a physical, mental, and strategic level, but Nightwing eventually ends up saving the multiverse. And listen, technically that's relevant when talking about why Dick Grayson is the best Robin, but the fact still remains. So the way I see it, when everything is said and done, you have two options. You either accept Dick Grayson as the best Robin, or you don't. Either way, we're done here. Peace.